I grew up watching BET's Comic View. This was a cutthroat stand-up comedy show akin to Showtime at the Apollo that featured some of the most brilliant up-and-coming black comedians before they became household names. It was like the PG-13 version of Def Comedy Jam, which was the reason it aired on BET rather than HBO. Every Tuesday and Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. I grew up in Central Time, and I remember every detail about the show because that is how much I loved it. This was the only show I looked forward to watching more than BET's Uncut, because what can I say? I was a young black teenager who was just starting to feel himself while trying to cultivate an identity called man, which was even more overdetermined by hypermasculine sexuality then than it is now. Oh, how I would watch intently as these young black stand-up comedians told jokes that ranged from sexuality to spirituality, back when I assumed the two were opposites. I was enamored with the different ways these brilliant minds embodied comedic sensibilities and how they created worlds of alternative meaning that gave me a break from the reality I was living. Whether it was Bruce telling a story about talking shit to an old black church woman in the middle of service when he was a kid, or some more breaking open the sexual dynamics of black intimate relationships, or Tyler Craig's fake drunk routine, where he would draw out these elaborate stories, giving glimpses of hilarity along the way before offering the real punchline, which was always preceded by, "The moral of the story is." Black comedians gave me a peek behind the curtain of my own cultural reality, but in a much more unfiltered way than the sitcoms available at the time. I loved it because I was raised in a family that loved to talk shit playfully. Playing the dozens was a love language for us. So it makes sense that black comedians would become the first social commentators to provoke my curiosity across a range of topics related to my masculinity. But as varied as their jokes were, poking holes in the problem of race as it played out in the context of everyday life was a common theme among them.